Hello everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 12. My name is Micah. We are here in Atlanta. Get you showcased here in just a second. I do want to go ahead and apologize for some issues with my screen flickering and stuff. That won't happen most of the time. That's just when I'm switching windows. And for some reason, it was working perfectly fine earlier today on Windows Capture, but now it's decided not to work on Windows Capture. I have to use desktop capture, so apologize for that in advance. But like I said, we are in Atlanta. Unpause it, and we're going to zoom in here. Ooh, that's fast. Welcome to the Zibo. This is an early release of the Zibo for X-Plane 12. There, I've already noticed some minor issues with it, but I'm happy to at least have it in the inventory. Love the lighting. All right, let's jump inside here and let's get this thing on the road. Again, it's going to flicker for a second as I switch some things around. And now there it is. All right. Let's get my checklist open. I was on number 5. No, I've already done that. Done that. I was here, yes. I was at the point where I needed to make the announcement of welcome aboard. And I wanted to wait for all of you to be on board before I did that. So when I change, that's going to be annoying, but that's okay. All right. Welcome aboard, everybody. Go ahead and close our front and rear entry doors and cargo doors. So again, the flickering that you will see today has nothing to do with X-Plane 12. It's purely to do with Streamlabs deciding window capture was not a viable option anymore, even though it worked perfectly fine last night and this morning. So who knows? This checklist doesn't auto-check some of these things. Again, this is all because of all the stuff that's going on right now. Is X-Plane 12 compatible with VATSIM? I did not. I tried to get XPilot to work and I was unable to. It doesn't mean it's not possible, but out of the box it's not. Because all the applications that would normally use it, XPilot or whatever it may be, they haven't gotten it over yet, so... Once the clients are ready, I would say yes, it is, but it's just not there yet. Again, it was released last night, so I don't really expect them all to be like, oh yeah, we're good to go. Early access will bring about lots of successful uses and updates by modders, add-on manufacturers, so forth. My understanding, I haven't gone and read all the release notes. My understanding is there's a lot of things that are coming that we just aren't going to see yet. And then there's also a lot of stuff that's happened under the hood that we as regular users will never see, mainly in the fact that it's mainly designed for people who are making things for the simulator, allowing things to be a lot more realistic, a lot more options through their API. So people like Zibo, people like Tolis, they have already come out and said, yeah, because of what they've already done, we're going to have the ability to do a lot more than we originally were able to. All right, so no change on that. No change on that. We're going to go ahead and execute that. I executed it, so we're good there. AP bleed should be in the on position. Get that running there. Middle generators, it's their APUs. Get those on, and GPU can be disconnected this time. And we'll disconnect it over here on the Avi tab, yes, or the tablet. The Avi tab is also working. We'll be using that today. We're going to remove the chocks and the GPU disconnect as well. And then we're going to go in one and get outside temperature, and we're going to derate this all the way to there. Take off flaps. We're going to use 5. CG pull it. 137. So 5 will be the flaps. A pint of Mountain Dew Low. What is... Are you just saying... Oh, Diet Mountain Dew. I think it's supposed to say LOL. I think that's what you're trying to go there. All right, that's all good. Speed bug, we're going to go 137 on it. Stab wheel. All right, what do we got on stab wheel? We get stabilizer. We got 5.25, so we're going to go and set that. So, with that being said, I'm going to go further back. I know you're going, why are you going to go further back? Because I watched someone else fly the 737 earlier today, and they had a very interesting thing happen on takeoff trying to pull back. They had to pull a lot more. So yeah. He almost installed Microsoft after trying the X12 demo for 5 minutes. Nice. I wouldn't quite do that. I wouldn't quite do that. All right, cut threat is not going to be a issue today for Atlanta. And give me the chart here. All right, over here. So normal checklist before start, read out. So before start, all of this stuff above the line, and nav, gear pins, oxygen's good, job transit, all switched to normal. We got, yep, we got enough fuel on board, 60.1. Fast seatbelts are on, window heats on, pressure bleeds are set, auto brakes, RTO, hydraulics are normal, speed brakes been down and detented already. Parking brakes already set. Stab trim cutoff switches are in normal position. Radios, radar, and transponders set and standby. All that's free at 0. Complete on the PA. FMC is complete. N1 and IS bugs have been set. Set trim has been set to required. EFB airplane mode and stowed. Phones are off. Well, mine's not, but whatever. Flight deck windows, cockpit doors closed. Doors are closed. Passengers are seated. Normal checklist complete. At this point, we'd call up, get our clearance. We don't have that today, so we don't have to worry about that. Get that go away there. And we're just going to give ourselves a random code here, just for the sake of 3251. No idea if that's the ones they use in ATL. Probably not, but that's okay. All right, anti-collision is going to be on. Left and right conditioning packs to the off position so we can get these engines started. Normal checklist. Again, apologize for any of the stuttering you're seeing when I'm switching views. That is not the simulator. That is Streamlabs being really dumb for some unknown reason. I might try to fix it when we're up in cruise, but yeah. Normal checklist before start, read out. Again, this is below. Air conditioning packs off. Angle inclusions on. Braking brake is set. And transponder is alt off. I did not switch it to alt off. Now I did. All right, pushback is given by ATC, so we're going to be pushing back and tail to the right. So what we're going to do is Shift-G brings up the new ground handling menu. And we're going to first detach the jetway. No worries, the Mexican. And that is up, free, and clear. We're going to call for pushback to the right. And we're going to have them come and grab us. Okay, why does it say the doors are not closed? What? Hold on. What's going on with the doors? Is it really? What's going on? None of the doors are closing. What?
It's a ring if you need anything.
Why aren't my doors closing? What's going on? Okay, they're backwards. Interesting. All right, I'm not sure about that one. That's okay. Is this the tug that's supposed to come get me that's having problems? Probably. Probably it. He's got supposed to be back here, though. All right. Once he starts pushing back, we'll actually get our engine started. Where'd he go? Is he going to come out of the woodwork, so to speak? Out of the terminal? There he is. Yep, coming straight out of the terminal. Gotta love it. Legit. All right, parking brake release. And let him get. Thank you, appreciate it. Commencing pushback. All right, there it is. So number 2 is going ground. Watching, waiting for rise to 25. And then you guys will be able to actually start seeing X-Plane 12 in all its quote-unquote glory. And we'll talk about it as we go throughout today. So this is the Zibo mod. This is the one designed for X-Plane 12. It is also early access. It is not... There's plenty of bugs still left in it, but it at least works. And has a lot... You know, the FMC is correct and has a lot more detail and stuff like that. So that's how we're using it today. All right, that's good. So we'll go overhead. This goes ground. Edson, welcome back. Nice to see you again from last night. Not much is going on. Just going to get this Zibo mod flight out of here and get up to DC. See how it all X-Plane 12 handles it all. Just 25. Come on. All the way up. There we go. Plenty of bugs are going to be in here, guys. I just know that off the bat. Oh my gosh, I forgot to stop. I forgot I'm not using better pushback, and it actually, you know, knows where I'm supposed to go. Whew. Stop. Stop. Stop the pushback. Stop it.
Disconnect. Pushback completed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And again, the stuttering guys, not X-Plane. That is moi. Streamlabs decided not to want to do window capture for some unknown reason. So that's fun. All right. Go overhead. 1 and 2 gens on. AP can come off. Bleeds off. Let's go to the autos. All right. Continuous. Isolation valve should be in the auto position. Pushback cruise disconnected and away. So we'll go flaps 5. And flight control chest, full forward, full rear, full left, full right, and rudder, full left, full right. I am not seeing that. It is showing there though. Let me make sure it's actually doing on my rudder here in just a second. Yep, okay. Just making sure it actually working here. We're departing out of Atlanta. We'll be heading to DCA, Washington, Reagan. All right, get that out of the way. Normal checklist before taxi. Let's pop that up. Before taxi, generators are on, APU is off, start switches are and continues, and anti-ice not required. Air conditioning packs auto bleeds on, isolation valve auto flaps are 5 as required. Stab trim is 6, requires 5.25, and start levers idle detent and flight controls are checked and recall has been selected. Before taxi checklist is complete. We can contact ATC and get permission to taxi. I already know where we're going here. Get our taxi and turn off. And we're going to... Whoops, wrong one. You know what? You guys want me to try to use the built-in ATC? I could do that. Supposedly it also does... let's just do clearance and delivery. Well, let's do ground control. BFR departure. I could do a whole...
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Ground. Zulu Bravo 738. Radio check. Zulu Bravo 7.
No, you can't just drag and drop it over, because if you do that, it's really going to be screwed up. I mean, it'll work kind of, but you won't have sound and a bunch of other stuff, so I don't recommend that. Let's just see if we can't get clearance delivery. Why not? Let's see if we can't get actual... Oh, wow, they have a bunch of options here. They have Delta. They should have Delta. I don't... They're Delta Airlines. There it is. Flight number, it's 324. Flight plan, going to DCA. En route altitude, we're going to be 37. And then we can we copy and paste? It's going to go black for a second, guys. I'm going to see if I can copy and paste this. I just want to see if the ATC actually works now. If it does, that'd be awesome. Oh, it's probably not going to see the arrivals and departures. Oh, direct. Oh, come on.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Delivery. Delta 324. Request IFR clearance to Ronald
It's still a
Reagan,
robot
Washington,
voice.
Delta 324. Cleared to Ronald Reagan, Washington at TNL. Routing as filed. Maintain flight level 370. Squawk 3200.
Cleared IFR to Ronald Reagan, Washington at TNL. Routing as filed.
Yeah, you're welcome,
Maintain
man.
Flight level 370. Squawk 3200.
So supposedly
Delta
you can use
324.
push to talk on this.
Delta 324. Read that correct.
Hold up, I'm going to go in here. So supposedly, if I... So there was an option I saw earlier. So if we go in here and push to talk. Okay, we'll see, we'll test it. Alright, so we need to tune now Atlanta ground. Request taxi. I don't think that worked. Delta 324, request taxi. No.
Hartsfield Jackson
Oh well,
Atlanta
it was a thought.
International Route.
I'm sure there's a way maybe it'll work
324.
eventually.
Request taxi for departure.
Delta 324, runway 26 left.
6 left, okay.
Alpha, Mike, Papa, Foxtrot, Golf, and Echo. Hold short of runway 26 left.
Runway 26 left. Taxi via Romeo Alpha Mike Papa.
I'd say it's about the same, the few, but I haven't flown it a bunch, so
Hold
it's
short, runway
first time for me
26 left.
too.
Delta 324.
Alright, so we're going to go up via Foxtrot, Golf, Echo, yeah, Foxtrot, Echo, 26 left, okay. Alright, let's do the wipers. So it does move them while we're here on the ground, but I don't know about up in the air. Again, the stutters you're seeing are not X-Plane. That is purely Streamlabs. I just keep reminding everybody, oh, it's giving me direct... Can I turn that off? I don't want that. I'm sure there's got to be a way to turn that off. That's... Gotta be a way. Show taxi arrow signs. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so the camera is purely Streamlabs problem. It has nothing to do with X-Plane. It was working literally like an hour ago, and then decided, you know what, window capture is not going to work anymore. You got to use desktop. Edstone, I don't have a definitive on that yet. I have used both now, but I have not used X-Plane 12 enough to really be like, yo, it's better or worse. That's just, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna say, just because of. I don't think they're really comparable at this time. It'd be like comparing the release of 2020 with the release of X-Plane 12. You know, that would be more accurate, I guess you could say. All right, it's Foxtrot Golf. This was his first. Is it this first one? No, it's not this first one. All right, and attend. Oh yeah, I tried that. Trust me, I tried restarting the program. I tried all kind of stuff. It just does not. It does not want it to work. It's like, no. You plan to stream? Nope, not gonna work for you today. So again, what are you talking about? I am on that. What are you talking about? Oh, did I go? Oh, I'm on Echo. Why am I on Echo? I thought that was what? Oops. Whoopsies. Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, see now it wants me to stay on Echo.
Roger. Returning to route. Echo. Runway 26 left. Taxi.
Whoops.
Echo. Hold short.
It was a more
Runway 26
logical
left.
one
Delta
anyway.
324.
Yeah, I understand. The reason I like Streamlabs is just because it's like clean, but I do understand. Honestly, I've thought about switching over to other platforms. I just haven't. You know, it takes time to move everything over and whatever. Yeah, so here's the thing. If you're a Microsoft Flight Simulator fan in here and you think this looks awful and whatever, that's, you know, fine. That's your opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say, shut up or anything like that, but everyone chooses their simulators for their own reasons. I had high hopes for 2020, and I was disappointed when it came out. So does that mean that, you know, somehow I was wrong, and someone who looks at this thinks is a disappointment's wrong as well? No. I just think that everyone has their own opinions of what they like in simulators, and that's what they go for. And I have no issue with people who, you know, want to follow that. Go for it. Yeah, you like both, the Mexican. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they both have the credits. I think 2020 definitely looks better. I don't think I don't know anyone who's saying that X-Plane 12 looks better than 2020. I've not heard that come out of anybody's mouth. Yeah, I've not heard that come out of anybody's mouth. I do think the default airports are more accurate in X-Plane 12, but not in regards to, like, they don't look better, if that makes sense. But I think X-Plane 12, along with X-Plane 11, has some benefits that I don't think 2020 has yet. Accuracy of airports, for one. Accuracy of flight characteristics for non-payware aircraft. I think 2020 lacks on that. Now, can it get there? Of course it could. I just don't know if... I almost feel like Asobo bit off more than it could chew. And since it's the first flight simulator it's created, that is like, oh my gosh, and got kind of overwhelmed. And then I think Microsoft pushed them to release it early when it was not ready, because it was called Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, right? And that's why we had 18 months to 2 years, almost 2 years now, come December, of problems with the simulator. It's just now getting playable. So I think there was a lot of push. Oh, it's 2020, so we should release it in 2020. And I would have been totally fine if they said, you know what, we're just not ready yet, so we're going to push it back and we're going to call it Microsoft Flight Simulator 2022. I would have been totally fine with it. Not totally fine with it. Danny, it depends on what you're wanting. If you want a sim to play around in and it to look beautiful, Edstone, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Play around and look beautiful. 2020 is probably going to be your sim. If you're looking for a hardcore simulator to simulate flying, I think X-Plane route's probably going to be more the way you want to go. But at the same time, we don't know what the future holds on either platform. It's kind of hard to say do this or do that. But yeah, try the X-Plane 12 demo, try the Microsoft Flight Simulator demo, and see which one you think fits your mission and what you want to do better. I think that's probably going to be the best answer for that. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you get notified next time I go live, whether it's X-Plane 12 or something else. It does help. And hit the like button if you think you like seeing this kind of content. By the way, I am working in the backgrounds of some comparisons between X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 12 regarding looks and the like. A lot of stuff you're not going to be able to compare because of the nature of what work was done with 12. A lot was under the hood that we just won't see until developers start developing off of it. But in regards to how it looks, I am going to show comparisons because I think a lot of people see this and think, oh, it's just X-Plane 11, and I just don't see that, especially after just the couple minutes of comparison video I've already created. I don't think that's the case, and I think you guys will also agree once you watch that as well. All right, we're going to be right up here on the hold short line. Look at that. Look at the reflections on that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Delta 324. Contact Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Tower 119.10.
Contact Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Tower 119.10. Delta 324.
I am on 26 left, actually. Make sure we're good on that. Yep, okay. 119.1. Let's see if it picks this up and flips it over when I do it automatically. It did. Look at that. That's cool. I'm glad it did that. You're welcome, Danny.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Tower, Delta 324, holding short on runway 26 left on Echo.
Delta 324, fly heading 070, wind 290 degrees at 6 knots.
070?
Left, cleared for takeoff.
That makes no sense at all. Oh, wait. Yeah, that makes no sense at all.
Fly heading 070.
What?
Runway 26 left, cleared
That's...
for takeoff. Delta 324.
What? Okay. If that's what you want. Oh my gosh. All right. We're going to do LNAV, VNAV, weather radar's coming on. Ooh, it's actually showing up. That's kind of cool. Transponder TARA. Yoke checklist before takeoff checklist. And complete. All right, apologize again for any jitters you see. Not the simulator. It is purely Streamlabs being Streamlabs. I had to switch up how I do things. So apologize in advance. All right, let's get this thing moving. And take and off the ground. This is going to be interesting. They want me to turn right heading 070 when I get off the ground. Okay. This is the X-Plane 12 Zibo mod. The link to download it is in the description down below. It is also early access, so there are bound to be issues and bugs and whatnot. So just be aware of that. All right, let's do this thing. Cross check, relieving pressure.
V1 rotate.
You're coming up.
Delta 324. Contact Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Approach. 121.225.
Contact Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Approach. 121.225. Delta 324.
Was it 121.225? Oh, 225. Hold on. 1 second, folks. Let me get this lined up, and then we'll get that locked in. 121.225. Switch it over.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Approach. Delta 324. Altitude 3,800. Climbing to flight level 370.
Delta 324. Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International.
Guess I'm climbing all the way to 370. So there's definitely work that needs to be with the ATC. Lots needs to be worked with. Rocket Boy, I do, Jolly Lawyer. I'm guessing that's you.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Altimeter 3008. Delta 324.
All right, cab positions in limits. Differential's good.
Delta 324. Resume navigation.
Resume
Roger
mode
that.
Navigation. Delta 324.
So we're gonna go direct to shut. Why not? Ooh, we got a discontinuity here. And we're gonna bring shut up. And we'll go LNAV. Alrighty. Float checklist, make sure that's complete. Good, good. Chimes only can be flipped off. Pin button pressed. Alright, let's go ahead and jump outside and check out what it looks like. We're flying through the clouds here. I agree with some people's comments. The clouds are a little too fluffy. I agree. There's too much blur when it comes to the edges. I think it's too much. I would agree with that. I like the reflection of the aircraft though on itself. That's really cool. That's really cool. Alright, are we 10,000 feet yet? Yeah, we are 10,000 feet, so these can come off. Yep. Logo, wings off, cabin pressure's good. Everything's still good with cabin pressure and everything. These can go to the auto button, and we'll recall our 6-pack. Heading bud will adjust our track to match. Right there. Alrighty. So we're up and away. I'd like to hear your feedback on X-Plane 12 and what you guys think about it. What's up, Aviation Geek? How's it going?
Delta 324. Contact Atlanta Center. 118.5.
So I agree with also, I think it was Flight Deck to Sim mentioned this. I like the fact that you get this kind of lighter, like blown out texture of the sun reflecting off the clouds, but I think it's a little overdone as well. I think they should tweak that down a little bit. Dry? Okay. So I'm looking forward to what Zibo has in store and planned for the Zibo, because I'm sure, like, you know, like this stuff, it looks kind of not that great, like quality. I feel like the new stuff is going to bring out the ability to really crank this up and give a lot more detail and depth. You're expecting a lot more. Yeah, I've heard that from a good number of people. I guess we were expecting 2020, but being able to, you know, the graphics of 2020, but with the same feel of X-Plane, I guess is what most people were thinking. I just don't know if that's feasible inside of the scope of what Laminar Research can do. You have to understand that LR is, it's about a dozen people, and it's expensive to do something like what Zibo has done, which they had a multi-million-dollar budget. So, you know, you just got to keep that in mind. But one of the things I've always loved about X-Plane versus 2020 or any other simulator has been the accuracy of the flight characteristics. I have always found them to be a little bit better. I'm going to go as far as say that some payware in 2020 do not have as good flight characteristics as those in X-Plane. And I think it's purely based upon the way that X-Plane looks at the air around them and has been using that technology for a while. But again, that's just my opinion. Alright, so we're headed to DCA. Oops, we need to go standard on both these. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying and enjoyed yesterday's stream as well. And like the clouds, like that needs to be fixed. Like obviously they're supposed to be representing cumulonimbus clouds. I get that, but like it almost looks like little jellyfish. And there are clouds that do look like that, but it shouldn't be the primary cloud type. So I think it's better than what we had in 11, but there's still much to be desired regarding. It feels a little too separated, if that makes sense. Like it's traditionally in clouds like this, you see clouds kind of grouped close to each other, and then you have larger breaks with abnormal things. Yeah, and that's also something that I was thinking of as well, Aviation Geek. I never really expected it to be 2020 level, but I understand where that idea entered the market, and that, you know, in 2020 kind of set that bar of what it's supposed to look like, and I don't think 12 reaches that at all. I do like ground textures, I do like the accuracy of airports, but I understand completely where people are coming from when they're talking about just visually. Well, I think Mohammed, with they are standing out a little bit with a A330, a default A330, which is pretty abnormal. That's never been done before, so I think that's standing out. Obviously it's not an A380, but I think what could happen is kind of like what we saw with 2020 with Fly-by-Wire taking over the A320 and making it a very viable aircraft, almost payware quality. It's the Zibo of the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think someone could do the similar of what they did with Zibo here, what he did, his awesome work, and do that with the Airbus A330. I think the capability is there, the option is there. I think the model of the A330 is pretty darn good. Obviously, it has much to be desired when it comes to systems and whatever. It doesn't even have a M.2, which supposedly is coming, according to rumor and speculation and released by Lemon Research. It is coming. It's just not here yet. Again, don't forget to hit the like button down below, as well as subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon. You'll get notified next time I go live. The default A3 sounds like a police car. I don't know about a police car, but yeah, the sounds are not the best. I will say the piston aircraft, though, like the Cessna and stuff, did sound pretty darn good. Right, and that's, again, this is early release. I should have these big bold things that pop up. Early release, early release. This is a beta. And if you guys remember 2020 in beta, oh lord. Talk about a dumpster fire. Alright, I'm going to try to see if I can't get... this to fix. Dang it, it's doing it again. See, if I'm not clicked into 2020 or 12, it works just fine. So this is X-Plane 12. This is X-Plane 12, the early release. This is X-Plane 12. That's why the clouds look better than nothing. If you guys remember, the clouds in default 11 were not 3D. They're 2D. They were images that you flew through. Layered images, but still images. So... I wouldn't say that, Aviation Geek. I wouldn't say that. Hello, NT from Croatia. I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be open once I show the comparison video, because when you're in the sim, you're thinking, "Oh, this looks kind of just like X-Plane 11," but when you really compare it side by side, you start going, "Oh wow, oh okay." This is quite a bit different. All right, so window capture is still doing its weird thing. Let's see if display capture. It's just it was so stupid. I'm telling you, an hour and a half ago, Windows capture was working perfectly fine. No stutters, no nothing, no problems, and then all of a sudden, poof! Now it doesn't work. Interesting, Thomas. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the cars do actually follow the roads, and yeah, that's true. They're not just crazy popping in and out all the time. They do pop in and out, don't get me wrong, just like in 2020, but like it looks more legit. They did not fix... Oh, they didn't fix the contrails, though. Come on, X-Plane. That should have been a day one fix. Let's get it going. Oh, that's disappointing. The contrails are still gray. 12 with the X-Plane. No. So, again, I don't have to, I would say this, but X-Plane 12, a lot of what has happened we don't see. X-Plane 12, a lot of what happened is under the hood. Engine improvements, engine redesign. It's completely redesigned. Everything for modders and stuff, it's different. It opens up the world of possibilities, so to speak, is the and so forth. So you just got to keep that in mind. Outside's the best part. It's very loud for me though. Also, this interior, this aircraft and everything is default X-Plane. It's Zibo, and the Zibo model right now is not the newer 737. So keep that in mind. It's like all this quality. This is not X-Plane 12 quality. This is X-Plane 11 quality. So all this should be improved, will be my guess, in the next coming months. I do have the level up. I've not tried it in 12. I don't know if it's compatible with 12 or not. Let's see, top of descents in 180, 200 miles about. So it is compatible with 12. Have you tried it? Okay. It's nice to know. Well, tactical potato, they have to make money somehow. It's reality, right? All right, let's go to cabin lighting. Where's that going to be? Is that under? Yeah, it's under ground services. I don't think it should be there, but that's just me. Cruise, light, medium, packaging elements, level off. Again, if you're just talking visually, yeah, you're probably right. But a lot of stuff that's happened is under the hood. I've told, he's saying it over and over again. There are huge changes. We just can't see them because it's designed for developers to make better aircraft, better things, better scenery, better. X-Enviro will be better with X-Plane 12. And now I can get the X-Enviro look and reshade look without having to pay extra money for it. If you're coming to a flight sim, it makes more sense, right, to get 12 than 11. If you already have 11, I'm not saying upgrade right now. Don't. There's no. If you already have 11, don't upgrade to 12 right now. I don't see a reason for you to do that. Now, 6 months from now, that may be completely different, and you may be like, okay, now's the time to upgrade. That may be absolutely correct. But I'm not out there telling people, okay, go ahead and upgrade now. No. Nope, not doing it. Just like with 2020. I was like, I got 2020 right out the get-go. I regret that tremendously. I should have waited a year. Any new release game at this point, or simulator, doesn't matter what it is. Software, you basically need to wait 6 months to a year before you should really actually buy it and download it, because there's going to be so many issues. Developers have gotten into this pressure game of got to get it out now, and what happens is then you're stuck with a product that has a lot of problems. But I will say this, that I have not had a single problem with 12 in regards to like a bug, right? I'm sure that I'm going to encounter them, but I have not ran across them. Well, I take that back. I did have one scenery, little jagged thing that happened. I am aware of Battlefield 2042. I'm a big Battlefield guy. I have Battlefield, the originals, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I have them all. But honestly, I stopped buying them because the 2042, I lost interest with that one. My favorite out of all of them was 3. But that may have been because from 2 to 3 was like a huge gap. And a huge improvement in quality, too. Also, I'm going to say something that may be controversial. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Flight Deck to Sim's word for it. Don't take V1 Simulation's word for it. Don't take Captain Canada's word for it. Don't take any of the streamers that you watch word for it on the game, on the simulator. Download the demo yourself and try it out. Make your own decision because you... Oops, I hit the button. You are capable of making that decision. 12 should run on Mac. They have a Mac installer and everything. But I can't guarantee it because I don't have Mac, so hands off, don't shoot. That's a cool cloud below. That's more like it. I will say that the live weather seems to be better. It actually updates and doesn't freak out. So there's a plus. They're almost all extra or ultra. I've got this down to high and this isn't fully up. Everything else is pretty much maxed out. Bro, Bad Company 2 was so good. Yes, you're absolutely right. 100%. I played Bad Company 2 until Battlefield 4 came out too. Even though I had Battlefield 3. There is something about it that was special. Well, the Mexican, in order to get your peanuts, you have to be a member here on YouTube or over at Locals, mmflightclub.locals.com. You get that, you get your peanuts. That's the way I roll now. I'm like every other airline. You don't get free things anymore. You got to pay for everything. Think you're still a member? I don't. It would show up on YouTube if you were. I don't. I check Locals. You might be. I need to make a thing where I can like give people peanuts. That would be funny. Let me check. I'll check for you. 1 second. I did really enjoy Rush. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, members. Yes, you are. You're a member. Yep, you are. You get your peanuts. I am not on VATSIM, unfortunately. I did not get Xpilot to work for me. Looks like we got a little bit of rain down there on the left. Let's see. That would make sense. Off the front of that cloud system. Top of descent about 180 miles. Really, that's kind of weird. It's will aviation. That sounds like a depth of field issue. I'm not sure why we'd be doing that. Also got some more weather up here on the right. Howdy, Audi, Almond. One thing I do like about the new weather engine is the fact it actually throws correct clouds and shadows on the ground. That's pretty good. I do like that. Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call I had to take, but I am back and ready for action. Here in the Delta livery of the Zibo early access for X-Plane 12. Now, one thing I did notice, if you look in here at, you can see the center. You see that? That line down the center. So that's something that needs to be addressed. Zibo, if you're watching, probably not, but if you are, all right, we are 155 miles till top of descent. We can start prepping for our descent into DC. The arrival we'll be using is the CAPS 3 RNAV arrival. I forgot I'm still on ATC. Hasn't even told me to switch over yet, which is interesting. Forgot I was on that. All right. Waves 21 to 22. That's correct. 280 knots. That's correct. Above 17 is correct. 14 to 200 is correct. It's 280. 13 to 6 correct. Caps 10 to 13 correct. HOAS 9000 set. Flips below that. That's if you're going that direction. We will not be coming this direction straight in, landing on runway 1. We're not doing the river visual today. That's actually closed. But we are landing on runway 1. So that looks correct. We'll land flaps 30 today. And brakes will set to 2. Minimums, let's check that out. So we are going to be landing RNAV today because I felt like it. And we'll do approach RNAV RNP runway 1. We are RNP equipped aircraft. 552 will be our decision. So we're in barometric, and we're going to go to 552 here. .552 set. And approach course could be 07 or 007. That's a big difference. .600 feet will be our altitude we'll look at for the final. All right, we're pretty much set for descent now. I mean, we're not, but, you know, it's good enough for government work, as they say. All right, let's bring up my descent. All right, we're in direction 255. Ooh, first, we're going to set the altitudes here. And it's going to be 200, 150, and 100. Direction speed is going to be 255 and 31. And 1500 is going to be 273 19 and 10,283 15. ICE deviations positive 9. QNH, that's a good question. What's the QNH for them? Let's find out. Whoops. Let's find out what the QNH is at DC. It is 2990. I don't think that's correct. Oh, it is correct. Execute that. Alrighty. Plenty of fuel still on board.
Automated weather observation. Choose city municipal weather. Dim, light, and variable. Visibility more than 10 miles. Rain. Sky conditions scattered at 4,200. Temperature 28. Dew point 20. Altimeter 2,996.
Let's see, the wind's affecting the aircraft. In fact, I think we pop outside. Should be able to thought there's a way to show it. Alright, so there's lifting. That's where lift's being created. All the numbers there. I'm not sure what that does. Wind delta knots. All the wind factors around the aircraft. Streamlines. Wake turbulence being created. Microburst, no microburst, that's good. Angle of attacks. That's cool. I'm sure there's more I don't know about it. All right, 80 miles top of descent. I'll be interesting to see how I am able to land this. I agree they are a bit too fluffy. They're a bit too popcornish too. I'm sure because of all the complaints they're getting on that, they'll fix that. Yeah, someone did say that. I disagree with that, but someone did say it. Each their own opinions. Alright, here's the descent procedure, which I've already pretty much accomplished. Local QNH is 29990. Oops. I did not do the fixed rings. What am I doing? Tells you how long I've been since I've flown this. Alright, so it's going to be runway 01. Not in database. Oh, wait. How do they do this? Did it just do runway 1? I don't think so. I'll just put it on KDCA, that's fine. And we'll do distance of 10. Distance of 4.5. And then we're at 37 times 3, that's 90, plus 21, that's 111, add 10 and 121. That's about where top of descent is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at my calculations versus the computer's calculations. I am so good. Not really. That's just a rule of thumb, so to speak. Alright, nav frequencies. Not going to have any. Course is set. Altitude bug adjust already. Landing performance calculations. Auto brakes calculated and checked. Yoke checklist. Alright, and cabin lighting. What is it going to be? It's going to be landing. White bright. And we'll make the announcement here once we actually get at top of descent. So, Herman, there is the Citation X already in play. I don't know how good it is. Mr. Man, I'm getting that vibe too. I honestly, I don't know where they were getting that. All the release images and stuff didn't show anything groundbreaking, so I'm not entirely sure why that was the expectation. Maybe because of 2020 and the way it looks. And as I've reminded people over and over and over again since the release yesterday in my stream yesterday, X-Plane 12 from the get-go was never supposed to be a 2020 like replacement in regards to looks. There's no way a team of 12 and a budget of probably only $1 million or $2 million at max can actually create the same level of quality as you're getting from a team that had tens of millions of dollars and the entire company of Microsoft behind them and their server capabilities and data storage capabilities and so forth. I mean, they're streaming petabytes of data over the network right now to people to have their photo geometry that they have on the ground. So, like, I'm not sure exactly what people were expecting. But I love X-Plane. X-Plane 12 is good. Is it worth the $60? We'll see. But I love X-Plane this in the fact of I think it's a better flight simulator. If you're wanting something casual and just something look pretty, I think 2020 is your game. I think if you're wanting something to get as realistic as possible regarding systems, flight characteristics, and the like, I think X-Plane is probably going to be more of the simulator for you. That's my 2 cents. But I am always open to having my mind changed. Alright, top of descent and about 40 miles. Bring this in. Got Kiwi, and then we'll turn towards top of descent. All right, turning on course now. So one thing that X-Plane has over Microsoft Flight Simulator is that X-Plane has a professional version that is actually certified by the FAA to be used as a flight simulator tool for flight schools. How do I know this? Well, my flight school I got my private pilot certificate from had one. And I never used it because I wanted real flight time, but you had the option to use it. There's a certain amount of hours you can have for each certification rating that is flight sim time versus actually flying. And it costs way less because obviously you're not using an aircraft, there's no maintenance to it, it's cheaper, there's no gas, right? So it's cheaper to use. So there's a benefit to it for those who are on a budget trying to save money. So X-Plane has that. 2020 does not. And there's a reason for that, because of the flight characteristics and the way that it models everything, and how everything can be outputted, data outputted, and constructed and set up scenarios and everything like that. And that's 2020 may get there, it's just not there yet in regards to that kind of a detailed certification. Again, not saying it can't. I believe that eventually it can. I just have a bit of a sore spot for 2020. So a little history on me. I started Flight Simulator with Flight Simulator X by Microsoft back in 2010. I built my first PC specifically for that. Lo and behold, that ended up me going into computers in college and getting IT jobs, but you know, it is what it is. But that's what I started, my two passions, I guess. And I played that for years. And then I did the Steam version of FSX for years until X-Plane 11 was coming out, and I thought it looked it looked great compared to FSX, right? And the performance just looked great. And so I went over to X-Plane 11, and I haven't looked back. But then 2020 got announced, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's finally here. The simulator to end all simulators. And lo and behold, I was so disappointed on launch day. Stuff didn't work. There were problems out to wazoo. And it took about a year for them to get all that sorted. And they're still working on stuff. And they're in, what, update 10? Or the beta of update 10? And they're saying now this update will do it. This update will make FPS better. This update will X, Y, and Z. And they still don't have a replay tool. Their multiplayer does not have shared cockpit. Granted, X-Plane does not, and that's always been one of my biggest gripes at X-Plane. No shared cockpit. I think that's a much overlooked thing. But that's just my opinion. Going to send now. So I had high hopes for 2020, and I think now it's pretty good. It's a beautiful looking game. I think it still looks cartoonish. I think the clouds look cartoonish and pixelated. Like you can see they're grainy almost. But I'm also seeing that here in X-Plane 12. So I can't really say that X-Plane 12 is better than that. I don't think so. I think they're both the same on that. I think 2020 just looks a little too cartoonish in its graphics. I wish they would like make it a little harsher, if that makes sense, a little more gritty, but not gritty in clouds. And I think that would serve them well. Again, my opinion, right? My opinion. But I never got that same feeling I did with X-Plane. I still, like, last night when I downloaded 12 and came back and flew, it felt like coming home because I actually felt like I was controlling an aircraft. While in 2020, I felt like I was on Xbox. And I hate that. I wish that was not how I felt, but that's just how I felt when I got behind the controls. Both airlines and GA aircraft. Now, I'm a GA pilot in real life, so I have some experience to, go on that, but talk about, what are you freaking out about? All right. So I have experience to fall back on that when talking about how a general aviation aircraft feels in real life versus how I felt in the simulator. I think X-Plane mimics that better, but I can't say anything about airlines. I will say this: Flight Deck the Sim, if you guys aren't following him, be sure to check him out. He's great. He's a real 737 pilot, just like V1 Simulations. Great. He's a real Airbus pilot. And I haven't watched his stream yet. I did watch Flight Decks from this morning. Plan to go watch his later to see his take on 12. But 12 said something, Flight Deck to Sim said something this morning I 100% agree with. He was like, there's just something about X-Plane and the way that it feels when you're controlling the aircraft makes it feel more real. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I can't, it's hard to say this is why. This little thing right here is why. This little, piece of data is why. But that's just, there's just a general feeling. And that's why I'm not over here bashing people that want to stay out and go and think X-Plane 12 is great, and think 2020 is great, or X-Plane 11 is great, or P3D, or whatever. I'm not here bashing, say, oh no, you're an idiot. It's awful. How can you like that? No. Everyone has a feeling when they're flying in their simulator. You may love 2020, while someone else may love 12, or 11, or P3D, or FSX, or 2004. I don't care. If you enjoy that simulator, go fly that simulator. Like, that's your thing. Do it. Go at it. I'm not gonna. I think we do a disservice a lot of times in the flight simulation community, like, oh no, this is better than that. This is better than that. Well, maybe in your opinion it is, because you're looking at it from this point of view, while the person you're saying is an idiot or dumb or whatever is looking at it from a different point of view. That's just my 2 cents. I mean, that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. Love it or hate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, if you like this kind of venting, I guess. I don't know. Did he? Okay. I don't know. Well, he was also, now granted, we got to be a little fair here. He was using the A340, which is not built into the game. That's not been published to be usable in the game yet. So, like, that's probably where a lot of his gripe came from. Is probably that. It probably had a lot of problems. He probably had a lot of problems, and that's why he was like, I've got to stop. Because I'm sure if he was X-Plane 11, it would have functioned just fine. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but my guess is that's probably part of the issue. That's why I'm flying the Zibo that was specifically updated for X-Plane 12 and not the one that was for 11, because if you try to install 11 on here, it's no bueno. You have issues. All right, we are getting... I'm already all the way back. Closer in here. And it should be able... We should have pretty good... Not awful weather here in DC. So one thing I have noticed in here, you see these jagged edges. In the default 737, these were not the case. So again, here in the Zibo, you're seeing a X-Plane 11 rendered aircraft kind of pushed over into 12. 11, I noticed, did not have these jagged edges at all. In the default in 12. So I'm not sure if that exactly why it's happening here, but my guess is because this is ported over kind of deal. That would be my guess. So don't take any of this as what it is. And again, we all know the clouds are too puffy and too fluffy. I really like the fact you have these reflections now. And the jerking and stuff, guys, is not the sim. It is Streamlabs being stupid. It was working just fine yesterday and earlier today, but today, about an hour, well, about 2 hours ago now, it decided, you know what, window capture and game capture is not going to work anymore. You have to use display capture, and it's causing all kind of problems. Also, I'm in the market for a new monitor. Do you have a recommendation for a good gaming monitor? I'm looking at a 2K, so a ultra high definition, but not 4K monitor with a good refresh rate, at least 120 hertz. Because I'm running on a 4K monitor right now with a 60 hertz refresh rate, which is fine and dandy for certain things, but it started having bleeding problems, image burning problems, and kind of stuff like that. So it's got to go. Plus, 4K was, I think, too much for a 24-inch monitor. So I think I needed a bigger monitor if I was going to do 4K. But it is what it is. Learn from your mistakes. So I'm looking for a 2K monitor. So if you got suggestions, you use one right now that you really love and think's great, let me know in the chat or comment down below if you're watching after the fact. And with that being said, don't forget to like this video. Even if you don't like X-Plane 12, like this video. It helps the YouTube algorithm, my channel. And then we'll be doing some other videos coming out, some comparison videos between 11 and 12, see the difference between the two visually, and then we'll talk about the differences under the hood as well, based upon the release notes and so forth and so on. All right, barometric, we're going to switch that over to local. And approach mode, ILS, set, Yoke checklist. Oh gosh. Samsung 32 Odyssey G5 game monitor, 140 hertz or 7. Okay. I don't know if 32, I think 32 might be too big. I have to see, because I have 3 monitors, and it's got to fit in between the 2. I might be able to spread them out further. I just don't know yet. I've thought about completely changing my setup anyway. But we'll see. It's curve. Oh, see, I don't know if that would work then. I love the idea of a curved monitor, but I just don't know if that would be the best for my setup. Get them flat too. Okay. Checklist. So this is the check. So you first have to install X checklist. You can just Google X checklists. Install that, and then you can use. By default, the Zibo has a checklist built in. I just thought of a joke. Hey, the Mexican. He says it's curved. You can get them in flat too. Does that include planets? I'm just joking, guys. I'm joking. I'm not a flat earther, but if you are, I'm not also going to hate on you. I just thought it was a good joke. Anyway, so yeah, you can get the X checklist on Google, and then you can Zibo has it built in. No problem, man. Always here to help if I can. If I can, I will. All right, we're getting close here. I am ready to go through these clouds. I will say this, X-Plane 11, when you enter the clouds, remember those things that just kind of fly by your window, like those 2D images? That is not the case here in 12. It's much more like 2020, that it actually, you know, you just enter into it and it's just, whew, you're covered with cloud. And I'll say in real life, that is reality. I've been in true IFR, not just me. I was with an instructor, and let me say, first off, it's scary, but it's really cool at the same time. When you get out of the clouds and you're coming towards the runway as you planned, you're like, yes, it's a good feeling there. Anyway, that's how it is real life, though. You start coming towards a cloud, it just kind of goes, all of a sudden you're inside of it, and you're like, holy crap, I just went inside of a cloud, and then there's nothing. It's just whitish gray everywhere. Yeah, I know, the Mexican, I know. We won't get into that argument here, though. Echo Congo, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Oh, you know what? The alert box is behind everything. That doesn't help anybody. That has been fixed now. I'm actually going to go brakes 3 now that I think about it. The runway we're going to is not super long. I have flown into DCA in real life a couple times.
Attention all aircraft. Ronald Reagan, Washington, MTNL. Altimeter 29091.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I don't know how I'm on your frequency, but... Sim with Elliot, that's a good question. I do not have the answer to. My guess is download X-Plane 11 and you use the same code. That would be my guess. But I don't actually have the answer to that. All right, here we go, guys. It should be on the website. See if I can't find the link right here shortly. Just skimming the clouds. Skimming them, man. All right, so my prepare for landing. All right. And ignore the jerkiness, guys. Again, that's Streamlabs, not X-Plane. X-Plane has been running super smooth, not a single problem. This is actually what it looks like in IFR. If you've ever been inside of a cloud in a cockpit, it is, I'd say maybe a little more white Well, it's actually rainy. So maybe not, actually. If it's a non-nimbus, then it's actually would be more white. But if this is a rain cloud or a nimbus cloud, then it would, yeah, it would have a little bit more gray in it. Get this lined up here. I am not IFR rated yet. I'm working on it. My goal by the end of the year is to be IFR rated. It's just finding time right now with the weather being so bad. I know, right? I got to get a lot of hood time, but I can't actually fly in actual IFR without a instructor. But that's expensive, so I'm trying to find time with other pilots to fly where I'm just under the hood and they're PIC. But anyway, I am working on it, and work is also a factor, and money. There's a lot of factors coming into my IFR training. Yeah, yep. After 3 years, yep. I'm not quite that long, but not far off. My 2-year review will actually be up in January. That's why I'm trying to get my instrument beforehand, so I don't have to also pay someone for a flight review. Just go ahead and get another rating, and that counts as it, right? So, all right. If you think that looks like X-Plane 11, I don't know. I don't know how you can think that. That does not look like X-Plane 11. Said with Elliot, no problem. Have a good one. Sleep well. I'm not saying it looks as good as 2020. Don't get me wrong. Not sure what's going on there. What is going on there? I do not know. It's like combating with the Horizon. Yeah, Sebastian, I'm going to say that's right at the bottom end of their minimum requirements, so it's probably going to struggle for sure. I'd stick with something like X-Plane 11 or prior. Or upgrade, one of the two, unfortunately. All right. Come on now, slow her down. All right, we've been cleared to land. Gonna go and do that. It's gonna go continuous. Logo and wing lights coming on. VNAV path is activated. I've got the runway inside already. Add some speed brakes here to slow us down.
2500.
Flight detent set. Alright, I've got the aircraft. Gear coming down. Blast 15.
To go.
Recall's complete. Speed lever is ready to go. It's calculated. All right. And get online here. Auto throttle deactivated. Full manual. And flaps 30.
Thousand feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Approaching minimums. Minimum 500.
Continue.
400. 300. 200.
Tank rate.
100.
Tank rate.
50,
Tank rate.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Knots.
Alrighty, welcome to Washington, D.C. See the Washington monument right off our nose. And the Capitol off to the right as well. We'll get parked up at the gate here and then we'll check out that replay. I'm not going to change any of the settings so it doesn't freak out or anything like that. Going to off though. One thing I do like about 12 is there's a lot more ramp activity and it looks way more like in real airports than previous iterations. All right, we'll get over here and parked, and then again, we'll check out that replay, which I want to see. I want to see how well I actually did. I get so focused on the moment that I'm like, I don't know. Todd, I think you're really close to being on 100% correct on that. I don't think you're like 100%. I think some people in the X-Plane do love to look at scenery, but I think the idea there is that 2020 is designed for the visual appeal, and X-Plane's designed for the realistic experience, I think is really close. All right, let's check out that replay. One second. One thing Microsoft Flight Simulator does not have: a built-in replay. Oh, sorry about that. Wrong button. In real life, Todd, or in VATSIM? That's coming off angle there. Were my spoilers out the whole time? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I put them up. Real life, awesome. I did some VATSIM controlling. I ran out of time, so I couldn't do it anymore. That's not X-Plane 11, guys. That's more than X-Plane 11. I'm just saying. Not saying it's 2020 worthy, in regards to visual, but that is not 11. For sure. And left main, right main, and nose. That was perfect. Let me look at that again. I want to be closer though. I want to be. Yeah, let's look at it right here. Oh, scenery load problem. Hey, first bug. First bug. There we go. Oh, I freaked it out there with my replay jumping and starting. Look at the fresh reflections on the water though. It's pretty good. I don't like the repetition of the water textures, but I do like the reflection we're getting on the water. On the captain bars. Yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for flying with me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll be streaming X-Plane 12 and others things in the future. Don't forget to subscribe down below, hit the like button, and the bell notification icon so you get notified next time we go live. I appreciate you watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time up in the sky.